Hey guys, sorry I'm having a few camera adjusting issues here, sorted. Okay, so as you can see I've got a bit of eye makeup on, nothing special, just my usual day-to-day, I'm doing nothing today eye makeup, and a completely bare face. Now, and I've also got a cold. The reason I'm not wearing anything on my face is mainly because I want to do a video, just move this, I want to do a video today on foundation for brides or for weddings or for any occasion where you're going to be photographed or kind of a really big event in your life. So, but mainly I'm focusing this on weddings and for bridal makeup. So I've got here a selection of different items that I use, and I'm going to talk and run through this tutorial. I'm going to do my base with you today. And then I'm going to do a series of videos. So the first one is foundations. Now, foundation is so important on your wedding day, particularly for your photographs, because these are photographs that you're going to keep for the rest of your life. You're going to look back at them, and the last thing you want to do is look back and just see yourself really, really bright because you've got SPF flashback. Now, when I talk about SPF flashback, what I'm talking about is the titanium dioxide that is quite often in foundations, which is basically SPF. And that will reflect light, and when your flash goes off it will bounce off. Now, majority of the time this doesn't happen with the professional photographs, but it always happens with photos that other people take of you. So the ones when you've got, you know, the kind of crude flash or the kind of close-up cameras, it will always happen in those photos. It does sometimes happen in professional photography if the camera that the photographer isn't using isn't kind of the best. I'm very out of breath. Okay, back to talking. So if the camera they use isn't brilliant, then quite often that is what will happen. So I'm going to run through different types of foundations that I like to use, and I'm going to start as well, I'm going to do low end. So the foundation I always use with brides is the Studio Fix Fluid by MAC. This is liquid foundation that has powders particles in it, and so one thing about this is that because of the powders it can oxidize on the skin. So what you want to do is when you go and get a tester, try it on your skin and just double check it first, see if it is your shade, because it will go darker, slightly darker, nothing much. Also it usually is just like this, as in a bottle screw top. And unfortunately, because MAC are naughty, you have to pay and buy a pump. So I'm not very pleased about that, but that's just the way it is. In these bottles, you get approximately 30 mils of liquid. So that is a lot, and these last me a long, long time. They photograph phenomenally. They photograph beautifully. Now the thing is with Studio Fix Fluid, so if you don't know how to use it properly, you don't know how to work it into the skin, it isn't very good. A lot of people use their fingers for some reason, and I've never understood that, because I think it's really hard to use your fingers. It's one of these, you need to use your brush. So I'm going to run through that with that foundation. But as far as photography is concerned, though it does have SPF 15 in it, the flashback is minimal, and it's absolutely just flawless, flawless, flawless makeup. Another one that I use is the MAC Full Coverage Foundation. Now, as I've explained before, this is a pro product. So, this is a pro product, so you can only really get it in the pro store if you were to go and actually buy it in person, or you can ring up MAC and order it. Now, you don't have to be a pro to get this. You can just phone up MAC and get it, but you will be charged the full price. I'm not sure how much the full price is, but as a pro, if you have a pro card, you usually, I think it's about 23 quid I paid, I can't remember. Anyway, it's a lot, goes a long way. I mean, you'll probably pay about the same for the Studio Fix Fluid, but this will last a long time. Again, with this, it does have titanium dioxide. It can flash back a little bit, but not very much. It really is about how you use it. This is the same as, I'm sure I've explained this before in so many of my videos. This is the same as Studio Finish Concealer, which you can buy in the shops, wherever. However, this has SPF 25, no, SPF 35. Yeah, SPF 35. These are the dogs. Yes, in a minute, Patch. These are the same shades, but this one's actually, you can see it's a lot lighter. I think it's because of the SPF, that's my theory. But if you want to see what the texture's like, if you want to see kind of how it is, then definitely get the concealer. If you use that concealer a lot, you can also use this, and it's because it's full coverage, you don't really need a concealer. You can just build it up around the areas that you need covering. So this is another one that I love to use. Is that the dog? Yes, it is. Something else I love to use as well is the, I got a video on using foundation, concealer as foundation, and this is basically the same principle that I use on brides a lot as well. I will use the Pro Longwear Concealer as a foundation on people who don't need that much coverage. If they need a little bit extra coverage but not much, then I will use this with the MAC Face and Body, or just use this on the under eye areas and the rest of MAC Face and Body. Again, those are products that are perhaps for people who really don't need much coverage at all. If you need full coverage, don't use the MAC Face and Body. But this is a really good one for brides as well, because it doesn't have any SPF in it. It's water-based. It does separate, so you need to give it a good shake. This is only little. You can get 150ml or 100ml. I don't use much of it, so I only ever buy the small ones. But it's also really good if you want to blend your face in with your neck, and it's non-transferable as well, so just perfect for if you are worried about getting it on, like it rubbing off on your dress or whatever. So that's what I tend to use. That is what I will use for brides. If a bride, another thing as well with the Studio Fix fluid, if your bride has dry skin, or if you have dry skin, do not use this. It is horrific on dry skin. It looks terrible and it cakes around the flaky areas, so don't use that if you have dry skin. If you have oily skin, it's the best thing to use, because with the oils it kind of blends in really beautifully, and it is really fantastic for dry skin. I think because it has the powder in it, kind of absorbs that. If you have, I only have a tester of it because I ran out and decided, I didn't like it, and decided to get a tester before I bought a new one, but actually I'm going to get a new one, and that's the Studio Sculpt. If you have really dry skin, Studio Sculpt foundation is really good as well. Again, that is something that has a slight technique to application. You want to apply that with a beauty blender, but I won't demonstrate those right now. If there's any you want me to demonstrate, then let me know. I have done a demonstration which is in the description below of the MAC full coverage. If you want to see a full description, click on the link below, or down below in the description bar. See if I can get it on the thing. I haven't quite worked out how to use that, but if that is the case, then click on the link below. And I will do one on the Studio Sculpt as well, and I have done one as well on the face and body, so that's in the link below. So just watch those if you want to just know about those particular foundations. Click on those tutorials. But for today, I'm gonna use the Studio Fix fluid, and I'm gonna talk to you as well about some budget products that that are good. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Revlon Colour Stay. This is my next favourite drugstore. This is my drugstore favourite actually foundation. It's almost a complete dupe for this, so if you can't afford this, buy this. The only problem that I've got with this is the fact that when you go to Revlon, or if you go to the counter in in Boots that we have in the UK, or Superdrug, places like that, you can't test these properly. You can't take a tester home. You have to test it there and there. If you're going to test it around your neck, or actually no, correction, test it on your chest. Because that is the true colour of your skin. Your face is usually, excuse me, a lot paler. The only issue I've got with this as well is I can't seem to find my shade, and for some reason I have to buy two shades and mix. And I've put one in. This is an old Estee Lauder pot, and I've had to put it in there and mix the two, which is a bit of a pain. But I've got this now just for kind of tutorial purposes and just for people who are really pale, because I bought this and apparently this is the shade Fresh Beige, which is supposed to be a dupe for NC20, and that's not true. So defo go to the shop and test yours, but if you want a very similar to one to this, then definitely try the Revlon Colour Stay, and it stays. It really does do what it says on the bottle. The next one is, though it's dirty, is the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. This, I think, does it have SPF? It has SPF 17, but I've not noticed any issues with flashback. It does flashback a tiny bit, but nothing nothing mega. Make sure that the shade that you buy is your shade. This is also really good for people with quite dry skin and kind of medium to dry skin. If you have oily skin, this might not be the best one for you, but people say it's not very good for oily skin. Personally, I've not had a problem when I've used it on myself because I have got quite oily skin at times. But it is definitely one to look at as well. The texture of it's beautiful, and it does give really good coverage. Another one of my absolute favourites is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation. This is a complete dupe for the Chanel Pro... Oh my god, what's it called? Chanel Pro Aqua? No, Chanel Pro... I don't know. There was a foundation that I absolutely loved and Chanel discontinued it. And I only had the one bottle, and it's called... Oh my god, Baby Brain. I've got complete baby brain. I've totally forgotten exactly what it's called. Anyway, that one, I'll probably write it in the description bar, but it's a complete dupe for one of the ones that Chanel discontinued. And it's quite dewy, so if you like that kind of matte look, then don't go for this one, but it does give you a really, really beautiful kind of healthy finish. So I recommend this for like a summer wedding. Make sure you prime your skin. It's not brilliant for people with very, very oily skin, but if you have dry skin, this is absolutely one for you. It's very, very hydrating, but if you do have dry skin, make sure you moisturize first, because you don't want your skin to absorb this if you haven't moisturised first. You want to moisturise first, so your skin doesn't go absorbing the foundation, leaving patches. So there you go.